Story 1. Civilization 5 has 1,700 hours logged. Edit. It's the most played game by myself, but it isn't close to most of the other commenters here. Having 4 kids will cut into gaming time. Story 2. Pokemon. Had a Game Boy in my hands by the time I was 4 or 5 years old. Eventually it turned into a Nintendo DS, then a Nintendo Switch. Regardless of what other people think about Nintendo and Game Freak, Pokemon has still kept most of its charms for me. I'm proud that my own child seems to enjoy Pokemon as much as I did when I was their age. Story 3. Chips Challenge. It was the first computer game we had on our family PC, and it happened to coincide with the 6-week summer holidays. My sisters, our mom, and I spent weeks taking turns playing it, trying to beat levels. The thrill was only surpassed by visiting a great uncle's house, whose PC had Chips Challenge and an actual sound card, allowing us to hear the animation sounds. Story 4. On record, Terraria. Without record, StarCraft 2. I have 1,500 hours recorded on Terraria, but StarCraft 2 doesn't track game time unless you play ladder, which I don't. However, I've calculated to roughly have 3,000 hours in StarCraft 2. Story 5. Dying Light. A few hours here, a few hours there for over 8 years. I have played it across 3 consoles, so I'm not entirely sure of my total playtime, maybe around 2,000 hours. There's just something about running around the city and picking up all the loot in sight. It's practically my apocalyptic home away from home. I love how there are main missions, side quests, or just plenty of opportunities to do nothing while still benefiting your inventory. The online community is still pretty strong too on the Nintendo Switch. Even though it doesn't look as impressive on that system, it's nice to take it on the go or have a horror movie in the background when playing in handheld mode while I'm just farming. Story 6. I have been gaming since the 1980s, so this is a loaded question. Within the last decade, Grand Theft Auto. Within the last 5 years, No Man's Sky. Since the 1980s, Mario. Story 7. I don't play many games, but when it was released, my roommate at my second apartment got it on Xbox. I played through it so many times, first as a maniac, then every subsequent playthrough as a pacifist as much as possible. I'm not exaggerating when I say I think I know every line of dialogue from it and the downloadable content by heart, from cutscenes to radio bumpers to dates and hangouts to random pedestrian phone calls to TV shows. The game just spoke to me. I probably have 16 playthroughs over 16 years. Story 8. It is going to date me, but the game I played and enjoyed the most was Golden Axe. I was unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable. I played it mostly at a really good friend's place. We hung out there before and after work. I also played later on during my off time when I was going to college in the arcade. I said I would be dating myself. Story 9. If you consider it one game, FIFA. My dad bought me FIFA International Soccer in 1993. Then I bought FIFA 97, 98, and 99. Then I skipped a few years while I went to university. But I picked it up with FIFA 07 and have bought it every single year since. That adds up to about 22 years of FIFA, now EA Sports FC. I only play career mode and have no interest in Ultimate Team or the other online modes. I'm not even particularly good at it, but it's my constant cozy game, played with pure muscle memory and easily playable in 15-minute blocks. Story 10, probably Pokemon Go. As pathetic as it is, I just played a little bit every day for years. But I hope it's Baldur's Gate 3. Astonished by the fact that I put more time into it than Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom combined. Story 11, Pong, Asteroids, Orlando Poon's Toxic Ravine, Duck Hunt, Microsoft Golf, Wolfenstein, Doom, Doom 2, GoldenEye, Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. Story 12. Probably Solitaire or Minesweeper. I'm 42. I've had both games available on a personal computer since I was 12 or so. Sometimes I would get really into one of them. Sometimes I wouldn't play for months. 30 years of that will add up. Story 13. I have 4,583 hours, so 190 days. I know people with far more hours in the game, however. At first, I was thinking maybe World of Warcraft. Even though I played up until Shadowlands, I haven't played heavily since Legion. I don't know of any way to check my played time outside of the game, so I can only speculate. I doubt it even touches my Stellaris time, though. Story 14. The original Medal of Honor on PlayStation 1. Haven't played video games in a few years, but I was young and had the time when this came out. Not sure why, but I never got bored with this one. Story 15. Minecraft does not have a playtime counter, so it is difficult to say, but either that or Fortnite. It is crazy what a consistent group of friends to play with does. I have probably played for 3 years in total. Story 16. Stardew Valley is really addicting. I'm actually not addicted to games, but the time I spent 8 hours in one day planting pumpkins made me question this. Story 17. The only game I really got into was Modern Warfare 2. I still listen to the lobby music sometimes. I've never cared about anything as much as I cared about my kill-death ratio on that game. It made me truly happy. Life is boring now. Story 18. Smite. I kind of regret it, but I also don't. When you have 10 people of equal skill level all playing together, it's a fantastic time. All it takes is one person to either be really good or really bad to ruin it for the other 9 people. Story 19. Played the most with an actual timer. Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. Only 1,140 hours since I started 4 years ago. Played the most over the course of my video game career. Crash Bandicoot 3. Warped. From the original PlayStation 1 and the remake. Story 20. Sock'em by a massive amount. Then second place would be Search and Destroy on Call of Duty. Third would be Call of Duty's first go on Blackout. I don't play anymore, but I was a madman on Call of Duty for Search. I'd beat anyone that reads this. Story 21. Been playing for roughly 14 years. I'm 22, so that's a long time. Started on Nintendo 64, couldn't afford a Wii, went straight to Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, and now been playing the entirety of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. New Nintendo console means new Super Smash Bros.? We will see. I main Ken and Pyra for the curious. Used to main Kirby in Nintendo 64, then Diddy Kong in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. I played a single game of Super Smash Bros. Brawl and used Mr. Game & Watch. I wish I could play Subspace Emissary. Story 22. Dota 2. 13,600 hours and counting since 2013. Edit. I do have a tendency of leaving the game in the main menu when not playing. I don't know what portion of the total that is, but I would think it might not be more than 10 to 15% of the total. Story 23. Genshin Impact at this point has most of the things I had been looking for in a game. Open world adventure, collecting characters and building them, exploration and story focused. Maybe it was the timing too, because I have been having a difficult few years, and it is one of few things that has kept me going some days. Maybe because of the frequent and regular updates, I always have something to look forward to. I also can play as much or as little daily as I want to. For better or worse, it has gotten me through some rough times, so I have a soft spot for it and still play now. After that, it would probably be Skyrim, The Sims, or Ark, unfortunately. Story 24. Resident Evil 4. My first play was around when I was 10 years old. I have finished it dozens of times and am still playing it now. It is one of my all-time favorite games. Story 25. I have 4,789.1 hours in Civilization 5. But I played it for over a decade. Eve is even longer. There was a period of about 5 years where I played Eve longer than I worked. I ran a 150-man wormhole corporation and would play from 5 p.m. when I got home from work until 2 a.m. Then I'd get up at 6 and chat with my lieutenants for an hour or so before I left for work. I was the head of information technology at my job, and half my staff was in my corporation. I had a virtual machine that I would run in the server room at lunch just to chat with the team. There were days I would take a half day just because we got declared war on. It was really over the top. I played 3 accounts simultaneously, usually a miner, a hauler, and a stealth manticore. We'd mine belts and haul or to our processing plant and manufacture at our player-owned structure. I got a promotion at work and I sold the corporation to the guys I played with for 17 billion ISK, and logged out and haven't logged in since. I thought about logging in again, but I get the cold sweats just knowing how much work it takes to be successful in that game, and how much it's changed. I wonder if the player-owned structures I have in storage are even usable. Story 26. Probably Halo Reach. I played a stunning amount of multiplayer. Between the release of Halo Reach and the release of Halo 4, I can only recall 2 days where I didn't play at least 1 or 2 matches. Story 27. Skyrim, Subnautica, and Dead Space 2008. I still play the first two there at least once a year. And not just a little bit, pick up and play and then stop for a year. I complete the whole game every time. I have them both memorized at this point. Story 28. Team Fortress 2, and I still absolutely love that game. I don't know exactly how many hours total I have playing it, but it's over 10,000. And I just put another 3 hours on Pyro this evening trying to perfect my Dragon's Fury play.